somebody check on Dwayne Johnson because he just might be in trouble. Welcome to my channel, Outspoken Samantha. If you are new here, welcome. I would love it since you clicked on the video to watch it if you would also hit that subscribe button and help me to grow this channel. And if you're returning, welcome back. I truly do appreciate your continued support on my channel, and I hope that you are subscribed as well. And this is just your daily reminder to be sure to find me on Facebook and Twitter, and if you have not done so already, to create an account on Rumble in case YouTube decides to crack down even more on their censorship and I lose my ability to post as much here, if at all. So I just want to make sure that we can stay connected. So I know in my last video I talked about how I really do not talk about Hollywood celebrities that often because I do feel like a lot of the opinions that they share are really irrelevant to the rest of us who are not millionaires and don't live in gated communities and eat our breakfast cereal out of bowls lined in gold. Because a lot of the things that they advocate for, though they sound really nice, really end up harming everyday people more than they end up helping us. So for the most part, their views on politics, life in general, and morals, and anything that really matters should usually be taken with a grain of salt. That being said, I can always appreciate when someone steps out of the mold, steps away from the things that they are expected to say, and actually calls things for what they are. And we can hope that what this does is inspire others to do the same and say it's okay to say things that don't go with the crowd, that are not necessarily that popular, but actually align with reality. Because when you can point out reality, then you can actually solve problems. But unfortunately, accompanying those views that are based on reality usually comes with a certain level of backlash, because we know that the left is really not very fond of facts and truth. So this brings us to Dwayne Johnson, who, as we know, he did endorse Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in 2020. So let's just have a really quick look at that fun little flashback.
I have never publicly endorsed a presidential candidate or a vice presidential candidate in my life, over my career. So I figured let's kick this conversation off this way by me officially publicly endorsing you both to become president and vice president of our great country.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
So I have to say, even though, yes, I don't give a lot of credibility to the opinions of people that come out of Hollywood, particularly where politics is concerned, because clearly the lack of judgment is glaring. But I have to say, I was disappointed when he did endorse these two, because I was hoping that he would at least, if nothing else, just stay out of it, but try to remain relatively neutral, especially since he does have such a large audience and such a diverse audience that I feel like it would have just suited him better to just keep it to himself. He can vote for whoever he wants privately and have those conversations as the rest of us do with our friends and family and those around us. It is really disappointing to see somebody that seems like such a level-headed guy vote for two people that we really honestly knew would be terrible for the country. I mean, we knew that they were lying about unity and wanting to heal division and about being able to stop COVID and everything else. We know who these people are and that they were saying whatever they had to say to gain support, but we knew that they would just completely turn things upside down, create more division and hostility, and create total and utter chaos where innocent people, law-abiding citizens, and pretty much anyone that they were promising to be on the side of would be the ones who suffer the most. I mean, Biden has a long history of being corrupt, of lying, of doing things like plagiarizing, and we knew that whatever he and the Queen of Word Salad were saying to sell people their ticket was just absolute garbage. We knew this, but people fell for it anyways, and that includes Dwayne Johnson, who even met with them and believed that they were the best choice for America based on just the words that they were saying, which shows that even celebrities have a hard time discerning the truth when they see it, which means they should not be using their massive platforms to influence anybody's decisions, because apparently they're just really terrible at making them themselves. So fast forward to just a few days ago, where Dwayne Johnson did an interview where he was asked again about his position on politics, even though we probably should have learned the first time that this guy does doesn't really know what he's talking about. And the question was how he views the state of the country today. And this might seem like a really silly issue, but I think there's far more being exposed just in this brief exchange. And it's really important to take note of. So again, the question was, are you happy with the state of America, with the state of the country today? And this is what he had to say.
You made that endorsement in 2020. Are you happy with the state of America?
Am I happy with the state of America right now? Well, that answer is no. Do I believe we're going to get better? I believe in that. I'm an optimistic guy, and I believe we can get better. The endorsement that I made years ago with Biden was one I thought was the best decision for me at that time. And I thought back then, when we talk about, hey, I'm in this position where I have some influence, and it's my job then. I felt like that then. It's my job now to exercise my influence and share with this is who I'm going to endorse. Am I going to do that again this year? That answer is no.
So aside from the fact that, yes, he does live in the Hollywood bubble, which puts him in a position where he's just completely disconnected from everyday people, I do think when he says that he did think Biden and Harris were the best option at the time, even though it is beyond my realm of understanding, I think he echoes the sentiments of how a lot of people felt at that time. And we saw this. We heard countless people saying that they just wanted the chaos of 2020 to end. And I honestly think they just wanted the chaos of the entire Trump presidency to end, whether they had anything against him or not as a president or as a person. They were just tired of all of the nonstop bickering, and they really just wanted things to calm down. And I think the media had created enough chaos and hysteria around Trump that people were of all things looking to escape that, if nothing else, which is something that still hasn't happened because the media has used Trump's name to spread hysteria over the last 3 years that Biden has been in office. So it's not like these people who voted for that reason could even get that out of the deal. And those of us who did not support Biden and Harris, we knew that it was garbage when the Democrats said that they wanted things to calm down, because we know that they never wanted things to calm down. And I think Dwayne here, I know the guy, we're just best friends. Dwayne is echoing the general consensus of probably what most people were just hoping for. However, unique to his position because he is one of the biggest names in Hollywood and has such a wide and diverse audience. His regret hits on a larger scale because he knows he influenced a lot of other people into that decision. And don't tell me that people are not swayed by what celebrities think and say, because they are. I believe that we have become an increasingly unserious society that is just really easy to sway and push in different directions. And people tend to care more about what someone like Dwayne Johnson says than the business owners in Minneapolis, Kenosha, Chicago, Los Angeles, or New York who had their businesses and communities destroyed by the 2020 riots, who still have not been able to recover from the billions in damage caused at that time. Yet people would still rather take their cues from somebody like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson or Taylor Swift than listen to the reality of what their own neighbors are dealing with. And of course, his response did set the internet on fire, particularly when it comes to the left. But I just have to ask, what did he say that was controversial? He's admitting that he misjudged the candidates he advocated for, and he realizes that if he can't trust his own judgment to promote someone who is actually good for the country, then it's a mistake to use his platform at all for politics. He didn't just say that he's not endorsing Biden. He says he's not going to use his influence to persuade people in either direction. He just said that he's not happy with the state of the country right now, which echoes probably most of the people that live in this country right now. Again, I don't understand how that's a bad thing or how that could make anybody upset, because all we heard from celebrities between 2016 and 2020 was how awful Trump was. And even today, countless celebrities are using their platforms to influence their audiences against Trump. So let's look at a couple of reactions from the left. So first we have our favorite TV talk show host, Joy Behar, who lightens up all of our days with so much sunshine and joy, as she is rightfully named, and her fellow co-hosts, the Hags of The View. So their reaction, of course, is exactly what most of us would expect. So let's just have a listen.
A couple of questions. First of all,
maybe they're not as relatives.
yeah. So the question, first of all, should I pay any attention to who gives an interview on Fox where they lie every day? Number one. Number two, should celebrities publicly endorse public figures? Or they should keep their politics to themselves? If they want to. I mean, celebrities are U.S. citizens, are American citizens. You don't lose your rights as a citizen because you are a celebrity.
Sometimes I really think that the view that these women have to be the most underrated actresses in Hollywood because there's no way that they can actually be serious about the things that they say. I mean, it's hilarious to me that she would automatically go to, well, Fox News lies every day, so therefore what Dwayne Johnson is saying is completely not credible. I mean, Joy, if you're convinced that Dwayne is so intimidated by the hosts of Fox where he can't sit down and tell the truth, then bring him on your show and ask him the same question. If he says the same thing, then what does that say about you? And I think it's a silly question to say, should celebrities endorse public figures just on a matter of free speech? Because it sounds like if you're saying that they shouldn't, then as part of some kind of contractual agreement to be a part of Hollywood, then there should be limits on the things that you can say publicly, which goes against everything that this country stands for. And again, as much as I have reiterated that I don't think people should take their cues from anyone in Hollywood, including and especially from people like Joy Behar, their opinions on how they vote, it doesn't mean that I want their right to say those things taken away. They can say whatever they want. People just need to consider the source on who they're listening to, particularly when it comes to people like this. And I just have to say, it's funny when a celebrity endorses the person that these people like, their opinion is like the gold standard, but when they don't, suddenly it's, what does this guy know? He's in Hollywood. So the next reaction came from CNN, and yes, I'm just as shocked as you are that these people are still around.
The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, came out and said he's not going to endorse anyone for president. Watch this.
The endorsement that I made years ago with Biden was one I thought was the best decision for me at that time. Am I going to do that again this year? That answer is no. I'm not going to do that because what I realized, what that caused back then was something that tears me up in my guts back then and now, which is division.
So there's obviously a reason I'm showing this.
Yeah, there is a reason you're showing it. Obviously, a man of color, sort of stepping away from the Democratic Party. I mean, he's emblematic. There are others, by the way. There are a lot of people in the hip-hop world that have either endorsed Trump or recanted their endorsement of President Biden. I mean, I have to say this is slightly, for me, ridiculous that The Rock would say my endorsement caused division in this country. I mean, this seems a little bit of a stretch.
I don't think there is ever anybody who is more shocked that a man of color would have an opinion of their own than a white liberal woman. But I do think that these people are internally freaking out because of the fact that this is someone who is not white, and while he's not publicly endorsing Biden this year, he didn't say that he wouldn't support a Democrat candidate, but he's also letting other people who look like him know that it's okay to admit that they were mistaken and to acknowledge that things are about as bad right now as any of us have ever seen in our lifetime, and that it's okay to admit you made a mistake and it's okay to change your mind, and that is the last thing that these people want. And when he says that he thinks his endorsement caused division, it means that he persuaded people to vote for people that lied about wanting to unify and heal the country and have caused more division than probably any of us have ever seen. But again, I just have to say, I think it's hilarious that these people are shocked that this man of color is expressing views that are outside of the box. And I really think that this reaction goes to show how much they really think that they own the opinions and the views of people that are not white, that are in the minority groups. And what does that say about their true, honest views when it comes to diversity and inclusion? Because it's okay for them to bring in people that look differently, but heaven forbid any one of these people that look differently as their token minority groups has an opinion that differs from the one that they've been given. But overall, I think this speaks to several different points. First, in this supposed democracy that they're all, supposedly fighting for, you can't have a neutral position. You're either vocal about your support of their candidate and their ideas, or you stay silent. Secondly, if you are not totally supportive of their candidate and supportive of their ideas, then your opinion either doesn't matter or you're an extremist member of the enemy party. Third, it is utterly unacceptable to them to even mention that you might be unhappy with the state of the country, that it is not acceptable speech in this supposed democracy. You can't even imply that there is any reason to distrust or be unhappy with the people in charge or to question what they're doing. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but this is just kind of the way that things are run in places like China and North Korea. You can only support one political party. If you don't openly support that political party, then you are the enemy. And if you even say that you are unhappy with the conditions that the people in charge have created for you to live in, then you need to be silenced. Dwayne didn't say that he supports Trump. He didn't even say that he wouldn't vote for a Democrat. But again, neutrality is not okay, and having your own opinion is not okay. There is only one acceptable opinion, and everything else is the opinion of the enemy. Anyway, I would love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. Please like this video. It does more than you know. Be sure again to create that account over on Rumble so you can access my videos wherever they are. I would love it if you would make sure that you are subscribed. Keep it real, guys, and I will see you in the next one.